go and drive me so crazy. Now I'm feeling lost without you, and I just can't be without you, baby. Want you all night long, want you all night long. Tell me why'd you have to go and drive me so crazy. Now I'm feeling lost without you, and I just can't be without you, baby. Want you all night long, want you all night long, want you all night, 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 want you all night. Tell me why'd you have to go and drive me so crazy? Now I'm feeling lost without you, and I just can't be without you, baby. Want you all night long, want you all night long. Baby, now I'm feeling lost without you, and I just can't be without you, baby. Want you all night long, want you all night long. Give me all your love, baby. Give me all your love, baby. Give me all your love, all your love, all your love. Give me all your love, baby. Give me all your love, baby. Give me all your love, all your love, all your love. Tell me why'd you have to go and drive me so crazy? Now I'm feeling lost without you, and I just can't be without you, baby. Want you all night long, want you all night long. Hey, welcome to Podcast Batching Day. I'm Sally Sparks Cousins, your automation nerd, lover of sexy numbers and all the good things. But today is Podcast Batching Day. We have already had on the amazing Katie Simpson talking about vodcasting. And she says she had some really hot tips. And up next, we got the mindset guru herself, Miss Jackie Ashley. So if you haven't gone back and checked out Katie's episode, then go back. It is, after this live stream, that is. You can go and check that out. But we do Podcast Batching Day every approximately 4 weeks. But if you want to make sure you do not miss a Podcast Batching Day, then you can head to our calendar to get updated, and also just subscribe to the channel and hit the like button and the bell. Make sure you hit that little ding dong bell, because that will send you a notification when we are live. And if you want notifications when we're live, our cute little Dr. Sparkle, she can send them to you. Here she is, dropping from the ceiling. So there she is. That's Dr. Sparkle. If you go and chat with her, she will make sure you get notifications for Straight Talk with Sally and our batching days. Now, we do one interview a week, actually dropping on your favorite podcast place, wherever it is, Stitcher, I don't think it's even called iTunes anymore, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio. I mean, there's a whole list of them. We're on them all. And we also drop a teaching content episode every other week, along with 2 quick tip episodes each and every week. So today, though, it is Podcast Batching Day. And our guest today is, Jackie Ashley is who we have on. Now, Jackie Ashley is a mindset coach, and she has been helping people for over 20 years. I hope she doesn't mind that I said that. But she is back today due to popular demand, because last year her episode with us was the most watched episode that we had on the podcast Batching Days. She is an experienced coach and a very successful entrepreneur. And she just loves helping people. She loves helping them inside of the Sparkle community and outside, literally everywhere, all around the world. And over the years, she has become an expert in understanding people in her field, why they do what they do, why we think the way we think, and how that can dramatically affect the life that we live and the results that we achieve. But today she is here to serve us and to talk to all of you amazing heart-centered entrepreneurs out there who are feeling a fear of success. That is our topic today, because we recently did a 3-day live event where we were asking people to actually write down the number of, in regards to their income, their revenue that they wanted to earn in 1 year from now, 3 years from now, and 10 years from now. And when we started to talk about that, first we thought, oh, that's a mindset thing around money. And the more we dove into it and we spoke to those in that live event, it was a fear of success, which was a huge part of them even then defining how much to put down on that paper. So we thought, let's get Jackie Ashley in. Let's chat with her about the fear of success. So help me, everybody, in welcoming the amazing Jackie Ashley. Hey, Jackie.
Hi, Sally. Are you showing my age now?
I did a little bit, but baby, we're about the same age. So I think it's the Asian though. Like, we still look pretty good, right?
I'm 20 something. Sometimes I act like that too. But
yeah, me too. Yeah, I embarrass my daughter all the time. So, Jackie, I'm so glad you're back on the show. Everyone loves having you on the show. And how was that? You got the most watched episodes last year for our podcast.
I know. Wow. I'm very, very surprised. But thank you. Thank you for watching, everyone. Thank you for watching.
So for those who don't know you yet or are new to our channel, then we've got some very cute guys here going, age is nothing but a number, ladies. Exactly. Right? It's
Thank you.
You could be 18 and be wiser than a 70-year-old, right? So nice to have you guys joining us. Now, what I would love to know, Jackie, for those who don't yet know you, why don't you share a little bit of your background and what have you done and experience to get you? Hey, we have a new subscriber. We've got to stop. Hello. Thank you, Gabe, for subscribing to the channel. Woo! Thank you for subscribing. So, Jackie, yes, your background.
We could be here forever.
Oh, we could. So we know.
How much time do you?
Well, we did actually talk before this, and Jackie goes, I've got a hard stop time today. And I thought she said 11:45, which meant we had 45 minutes. She goes 12:45, which means we've got an hour and 45. So we'll try to hard stop at 12:45. So Jackie, a little bit about you and, what have you done to really get you to where you are today?
Okay. Well, hello, everyone. So lovely to be here and connect with everyone here. As Sally mentioned, I am a mindset and confidence coach. I'm very fascinated about how people behave and more. I guess it's really just kind of started from my journey. And that's why I've just in the last 15, 20 years, I've just been really focused on studying and researching and, getting the right certifications as well to be able to help others. Now, my journey maybe I won't go too far back, but I'll start how I kind of got into coaching. But I'm based in Sydney, everyone. Hello, anyone out there from Sydney? Hello to you. I'm a mother of two. And I do, apart from my coaching business, I also have a recruitment business, recruiting locums. So anyone out there who's a doctor and needs some recruitment, and come to me. But I actually started my journey. So I've actually changed 4 careers in my life. I'm a big believer in that, you know what, if I'm not enjoying what I'm doing, I'm going to find the next role. And, I have this mantra is that if you don't give it a go, you will never know. So for me, it's always about giving things a go. So, my background, I started off in hospitality. So this is going way 20 years, early 20s. I'm 46 now. So yeah, way back there. In hospitality. Okay, I shared my age. And
You were right up front there. That's okay, baby.
I know, I love it. Hey, but I'm 27 at heart.
Yeah, forever.
Exactly right. And started in the hospitality, went from hospitality to promotions, to also helping my father in his business here. And then I got to a point in life where I was just not, I guess, stimulated or satisfied, and I knew I had to do it for myself. And that was the hardest thing, because I wanted to help my family. But I really needed to do this for myself. So one crazy New Year's evening, when everyone's having, woohoo, partying, drinking, and all that, me and my friend, one of my good friends, decided that, hey, let's just start a business. And we actually looked at all sorts of business. I went in from, I've always been interested in dating. Why don't we go and do some dating app or something like that? And she's like, no, I'm single. I'm like, okay, all right, fair enough. All right, so what other skills? We looked daycare, we looked at other skills, but what we did, we ended up looking at what we were good at, but what we're really passionate about. And I've always been in an industry where I'm helping people. Friends had always asked me for advice, and so that kind of started that journey. And we set up a business recruiting lawyers at the time. So so that started my journey into the recruitment coaching. And I was it was recruiting lawyers around the world. We kind of worked with the top law firms to help them. And during my time as a recruitment consultant, there was a lot of informal coaching to some of my candidates, because there was always something that was holding about why they're moving. And I realized why they're moving from one role, it wasn't because it was the job, but it was more because of them. So I realized, oh my gosh, there's something in this. And I have also experienced I was at a crossroad in my life before I even started this journey into where we would go. And I actually met up with an executive coach, a coach who helped me. And she really helped me to get clarity as to, what path I should take, or what I was wanting, So therefore I started this journey, and then I started coaching, and I went to a personal development weekend, and I was just so fascinated about how the brain works, but how people behave. And I really thought, you know what, I really want to add this to my business, that extra value of not just recruiting people, but also being able to help them. I've always been a people's person. So that kind of sparked my interest in coaching, because I got help and I knew how valuable it was. I was really stuck. There were a lot of things holding me back. Things about self-worth as a child, being Asians and having expectations about being Asian. I'm so not, right? The Asian norms. You ask me about maths. No, sorry, forget. Don't come to me. I'm not an accountant. I do not like numbers, although I do appreciate numbers work and they have a story, but no, I just, so that was, and then I loved coaching so much that, we got certification, and that kind of sparked my journey. And I started this as a full time. And then I had my children and kids. I took a step back and started doing part time, and then went back into full time. So, that's always been a passion of mine. But the other passion is, because I kind of love businesses, and I've got that little entrepreneurial itch that yeah. So having a recruitment business, recruiting doctors is another a business for me. So managing the two. And that's kind of how I got into coaching. You know, yeah.
I love how, like, I mean, we work together, and I love, you know, we're a bit woo-hoo at heart, right? We love all of that, but it's also science-backed and research-based. So
Correct.
even though we talk about manifestation and all of the things, there's a lot of research-based evidence that you teach and show around that. And, you know, you're always upskilling and learning new things, but I've always loved and been fascinated by the brain and the way people think. But one thing I have to say about you is, God, you are patient. You are a patient lady. I really, like, I went and, you know, did my 3-year certification to become a life coach because I didn't want to mess around in people's grey matter and mess them all up, right? And I think Jackie has frozen on the most funniest face right now on the live stream. So that is hilarious. So we are going to come back here. I'm going to just share a little bit while Jackie figures out how to get back in because I think she's frozen. But what I've really loved about working with Jackie is even though we have all of this woohoo, heart-centered stuff that's going on, she also has the patience to back that up. Because when I went and learnt how to, hang on, I'm just going to, and Ma, you can cut this bit out in the restream. Joyce, could you please let Ma know that Jackie's frozen and if someone can reach out to her and let her know she's frozen and she needs to come back in and reset herself. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, Ma's watching on the live stream. Thank you very much. Hey, we can edit this stuff out. This is the power of the awesomeness of live stream. We're just going to wing it until she can get herself back in here. But I started coaching and actually doing the life coaching stuff alongside of the business, the automation, because I'm fascinated by businesses. I love to invest in businesses. I love to really take an existing business and help them automate and scale. And that's where a lot of businesses that I work with get really stuck, right? Because they're really good at the thing they do, but they don't know how to scale it or automate it. But then the thing, once we get them in, is they were messing around trying to figure things out, but it was mostly their brain that was holding them back. And what I found was I had the patience of about 3 times they could complain to me, or in Australia we call it whinging. They could whinge to me, and she's back. Here she is. She's back in the room. Hey, Jackie.
I don't know.
You need
what
to go
happened,
back
so-
and watch the replay on your freezed face when you got frozen. It was like this. It was so
great.
cute. It was awesome. So yeah, I used to allow 3 times people to come and complain and whinge to me, and then I was like, just get over it. Like, just do the shit, man. Just get it done. Like, and I sat and I get to watch Jackie do group coaching every week, and I love it. And there was one client she was coaching, and by about 45 minutes in, I'm sending Jackie messages going, nah, she's never going to see it. She can't see it. She's stuck. And I'm like, it's so simple. But she just kept seeing this one thing that was blocking her from moving forward. And this one thing was the fact that she had a housemate. And I'm like, so? But to her, the reason why she couldn't move forward was because she had a housemate, and the housemate was stopping her from doing all the things she wanted to do. And 45 minutes in, I'm like, nah, I'm giving up. Like, I'm tapping out. I wasn't even trying to help her, but just listening was doing my head in. Jackie, it was about an hour and a half. And then all of a sudden, that person, it's like the clouds parted, and she realized, oh, it doesn't matter that I've got a housemate. I can do whatever I want. And I'm like, I was sitting there and I was like, so grateful that our community have you, because by 45 minutes I was ready to tap out. And now when I can't sort something in about 10 minutes, I'm like, go see Jackie. Because I know where my power lies. I'm very empathetic and I love to help people, but I get to a point where I'm like, figure your shit out. And that's where we have you, Jackie.
That's too funny.
You are amazing.
Some people just take a little bit of time to kind of see them. But
Yeah.
when you understand how they see things, then it's actually easier to be able to help them. A
Yeah.
lot of coaches and a lot of people, we try to help them based on our perspective, but that doesn't work that way. You kind of really have to step into their world and really see, right, how they thinking. What does their world look like? And so we got there. I was determined. I said, "That's okay. We got this. You got this." Because she's had all this time with this thinking in their head. So sometimes it just takes some time to get it unstuck or move it
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I've when I watch you coach as well, I can see how you change the way in which you talk to people. From one client who's, I say she uses a lot of really flowery words, like really big words that I feel like I've got to get a dictionary out to understand what she's saying half the time. And then other people that are very structured and very short and to the point. And you shift, like modeling, right? That's what a good coach does, is they model back, but you do it so well. So anyway, I could like brag on you all day long because I love
Oh,
you.
thank you. I'm just going to say thank you to the comments, because I've learned that, accept and say thank you.
That's right. There is no yeah buts here. It's thank you.
No
Aw.
buts. No buts here. Just
No,
say
yeah,
thank
yeah. Well, today's
you.
topic is a really good one, and I reckon this will be up there in the one that so many people listen to. And it's about overcoming the fear of success. But before we talk about overcoming it and how we can, shift it, let's talk about what is fear of success, Jackie.
Well, actually, question I want to ask you, Sally, is what do
Okay.
you believe is fear of success?
Oh,
And
so
whoever, I want you to type in the comments if you're watching, because I want you to get the most out of this session too. Let's call it a session. But what do you believe is fear of success? Because everyone actually has different meaning of what it might look like for them.
that is really good. This is going to turn into a coaching session. So I love it. So everybody out there, get your tippy tap fingers out. Just come on back. If you're multitasking right now, just come back to the phone, wherever you're watching, and type in for us what you believe is fear of success. And I'll read them out. I'll even say your name and you'll make it onto the podcast. So to me, I guess fear of success would be, let me think. Probably a fear of, like, once you're successful, you've got this expectation to live up to. And would I be able to live up to that expectation? So I'll share a story with you, Jackie. I had a fear of not success, but being famous. That was the word to me that triggered me. It's probably the similar thing.
Yep.
But because one day I was at a conference and there were people walking behind me and I heard them say, "Oh my God, that's Sally Sparks' cousin. She's famous." And I felt sick. It's like I got triggered. My stomach dropped. I felt nervous. I felt like I wanted to run and hide because I didn't want to be famous. And I figured out later on through, talking and listening to people what that fear was. But I knew I had to push through it personally because I couldn't help people if I didn't. But we've got Catherine's starting to share here. So what she believes is fear of success. So Catherine, Kites and Angels on YouTube, has said, when you subconsciously hold yourself back because you worry about the implications that success could have on your life and whether you can live up to it, to what you need to do. Excellent. All right. So everyone's still tippy-tappy typing, but Jackie,
Yeah.
I would love for you to, I guess, explain from your years of experience helping people with this, what you've
Yeah.
come across.
So sum it up. Fear of success is when we're afraid of what will happen when we achieve something that perhaps we may not be able to hold on to it. Right? Now, if you think about this, fear of success is a little bit of like very, very, very similar to imposter syndrome, if you think about it, right? But the real thing about fear of success is really what it comes down to is fear of change, right? If you think about it, it really is the fear of change. For example, right? Do you worry about the people that you have to hire and spend more to grow? Right? I had a client of mine um, who was a buyer's agent, and she had a fear of success because she was so worried that she had started her own business. She had another business before, and it grew so fast. She grew so fast they had to shut it down because they couldn't handle it. So this timeline, she was really worried that she's going to grow too fast. She could not manage anymore, right? And that she was thinking about what would happen, and that actually stopped her moving, right? So, do you have a fear of, okay, once I'm successful, would I have less time with my family? So, oh my gosh, if that's going to happen, I better not get to that level. I cannot show up because if I'm successful, then not only will I not have time with my family, well, also it means that I may not have, it might affect my relationship, right?
That's fascinating. Fear of change. I'd never really thought of it that way, that it really comes back to that fear of change. And we've got Mummy Scribbles here who says, to me, fear of success would mean that I would have to share my true self with the world, afraid they will judge me and not really judge me and not like who I really am if they knew what I went through. Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting, right? Imposter syndrome comes in too, right? If you think about the relationship with that, right? A lot of high achiever women out there who who do not want to go for that promotion, right? Because once they get to that promotion, and once they get that promotion, oh my gosh, what's going to happen once I get the promotion? What are the changes that are going to happen that might affect me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And a lot of all this also comes from when we're quite young, right? Psychology shows us, if, like, say for example, when you're really young and someone tells you that you're not intelligent when you're young, or when you're 3 and or 4, something like that. So usually these beliefs form when we're a lot younger. Some actually forms from generations passed on to us, right? And it's the thing, you might grow up believing that emotionally deep down inside of you, that you're not smart, that you're not intelligent. So you may work really hard, and you might get straight A's all through school and college, and at the same time you may also believe deep down is that you don't deserve good grades, because emotionally you believe you're not intelligent. So what happens? You overcompensate, right? And then what happens is, when you then become an adult, right, and it comes to when you become an adult, and when it comes to speaking up for your intelligence, like maybe you might go for a job interview, or even a promotion, like I just mentioned, you may not do so because even though you got all the A's, you believe you're not really smart. You may even think that you're a fraud, right? Self-sabotage. So you blow the job interview, or you screw up doing something else anyway, because you can't handle believing the truth about yourself. And objectively, you are a straight A student, and should get the rewards that brings it, right? That you deserve that. But because you've taught yourself, that you're not intelligent, it feels natural for you to believe and feel that you're not intelligent. So you do something to prove yourself that you're not intelligent, right? Because that sounds natural,
Yeah.
normal to you, right? So
Yeah.
imposter syndrome is it's not dissimilar to imposter syndrome, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It is. It's very interesting you say that, because I mean, I see it with the clients we work with when they have these, limiting beliefs around what they can and can't do. And then they're finding things to reinforce the belief that they have. Yeah, they're always looking for that excuse or a reason why they can't achieve that. Or maybe, we tell them to go and reach out to 10 people to approach to become joint venture partners. And they're like, the fear of doing that overcomes them. And then they'll use the word like, everybody's not replying to me. I always love the word everybody.
Yeah.
I love to pull people up on the word everybody, because the word everybody is not everybody. at all. But they will use those beliefs to hold themselves back from taking that action because they believe everybody won't reply, but they haven't actually done the thing. They've reached out to 3 people and those 3 people have not replied, and therefore everybody has not replied.
Yeah. You know what? We're really good at creating the things that we're very good at manifesting. Here's the thing, right? Because if you think that you're not good enough, your subconscious mind will say, "Oh, is that what you believe? Okay, so I'll prove to you that that is what you believe. So here's your reality. There you go. Here, see this." So you will see all that in front of you. Your reality is a reflection of what you are and what you think. So if you think that way,
Yeah.
that's what's going to happen,
I mean,
right?
both of us, we've been through hard times with money and I've lost money, you've lost money, we've made money, and whenever we lose money, we're like, oh well, we'll make more. Where other people will lose money and go, oh, I've lost it all and it's all over and I've got to start again. It's like, no, I will just go make more, right? It's taken work for both of us practicing on a daily basis, right? To have that type of mindset. Now, for those people who realize, okay, I am that person, I have a fear of success, what are some tips that you could give to really help overcome this limiting belief?
Okay. So I'm going to tell you, it's not about deleting it, right? Because you will experience fear in your life, okay, in different stages. Fear and negative emotions is not a bad thing. So I want you to remember that first. Because these emotions, I like to call it internal GPS system because it's telling you something's not right and you're not off, maybe you're off path or you're off road or something is, so not right. So you need to have a look at it. The subconscious mind will bring to you everything that you need to resolve. And if you don't resolve it, it will just get bigger, 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 bigger. And the shit keeps going bigger, 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 right? Until it hits a fan, right? Excuse my language, but that's it, right? So it's about managing it, right? It's about accessing and understanding what this is. So the thing is, fear has the same physiology as excitement, actually, if you think about it. Let me ask you, when you feel excited, how do you feel? Do you feel the tightness in the chest, palpitation, sweatiness? Some people say sweatiness in the palm. You feel that. That's the same thing that you feel in with fear. Now, the big difference and the difference between the two is what's going in your head, is what you're saying to yourself, right? And it's what you're saying to yourself and what you're picturing, because you're probably saying something bad and then you're also picturing at the same time. So what are you saying to yourself and what do you need to visualize or see, right, in order for you to get the results that you want? Because the brain does not know the difference between reality or not. You only see the reality that you think of, and that's it. So I have 5 steps. We go all day here, but 5.
I love it. I love a good step by step, and I love it when it's done by numbers as well, because you know me
Yeah.
and sexy numbers, baby.
I could have got to 9 because there's a thing about 3, 6, and 9. If you look at numerology, but
Yeah.
let's get the 5 today because we only have till 12:45.
Yeah. Guys, we've only got another hour and 10 minutes, so.
Right. All right. So the first thing, the first thing is you got to ask yourself, what does success mean to you first? Right. Before you can begin to overcome a fear of success, you have to understand what success means to you. So write that down because every single one of you will have a different meaning of what success is and looks like. I'm guaranteed, like everyone that comes out around the room, they will all have a different meaning. They will all have to use a different word, right? Some may be similar, but they will definitely use different words. So what does success mean to you? All right, right? And then, so when you identify that and understand it, the next is what here's the question I like to ask you and have something to think about and make sure you write it down. Now, everyone knows, and Sally knows why I always emphasize and remind people, make sure you write. Because as you're writing, yes, and journaling, you're creating new neural pathways, right? It's very different to typing. If you try typing, you'll notice the difference. You can feel the difference from typing and writing because you're connecting to a very different part of your brain. So what is it about success that scares you? Number 2, what is it about success that scares you? Because when you also understand and when you dig a little bit deeper, you'll find that maybe success, the scariness of success, isn't what you think it is to be, right? It comes down to, could be that one little thing that, oh my gosh, actually, that's what success, that's why success scares you. Because when you know what it is, then you can do something about it, right? Number 3, okay. How is fear holding you back? Be honest with yourself and really acknowledge it. Acknowledge the fear that you're experiencing. So what is it about the fear? Because awareness is the first step to change. It's not trying to shut it out, because the more you try to shut it out, remember, the subconscious mind will bring to you the things that you need to resolve. Until you resolve it, it keeps coming up. So what is the fear? How is the fear really holding you back? Just be really, really honest and be vulnerable about what that is and what that looks like, right? Okay. So number 4, right? Write down and journal. Write down why you want to be successful. Why is it important? We're looking at your values here. Oh, actually, there is a number 6, so I'll get to that. All right. So I needed to put that extra 3 in there because the 6 and 3 is good. All right. So write down why you want to be successful. Why is it important? And not just write down one why, you keep going. And why? Why? Because I want to make money for my family. Why do I want to make money for my family? Because this. And why? Write down 5 whys, write down 7 whys, write down, keep going until you actually get the meaning behind the whys, right? People just write down why, and a lot of people can receive goal who don't achieve the goals. It's not because they, well, I write down my whys, but the thing is the meaning behind it. You need to make sure that you find the meaning behind it, because it's the meaning behind it that's going to make you move. So keep going until you get to a higher purpose as to why you want to be successful, and what will it do for you? What will it do for you? What will being successful give you? And what does that make you feel? So take the time to do that, right? And let me know. I'd love to hear that. What will success, what will being successful give you? What will it do for you? And how does it feel? Because at the end of the day, the feeling is really important, because the feeling, right, is based on what you think. You want to change your results, you have to change your either psychology or your physiology. So how do you feel? What does it look like to be successful? Okay, so here's my number 5. Okay, number 5, align your values with your goals. Because when you align your values with your goals and your actions, right? Because the values are really what's important to you. And when you align it with the goals or the actions, and you understand why you want success, you will actually move. For example, right, this is an example. If I hire more people to help me, I can then take a step back. So I can spend more time with my family. Because family to me is a high value of mine. That's what's important to me, right? And that is also the reason why it could be blocking you. So why go deep as to, right? If I hire more people, that might help me to take a step back. So I can then spend more time with my family and help them. Or if your core value or high value is helping people's lives, right? This hiring more people will actually allow me to create more time for me, so that I can actually help more people by creating more projects. If I put myself out there, by putting myself out there, right? If my core value is helping other people, transforming people's lives, if I by putting myself out there, that's going to help me to transform more people's lives. Why? Because of this. So aligning your values and your goals with your actions as well with it, right? Because sometimes it's the actions that you need to take that's stopping you from that. So, for example, why, if you have a fear of doing live, right? But the thing is, if you don't do a live and you don't share your knowledge, no one's going to know. How can you transform other people's lives? And I don't want to be mean or, say this in a, but are you being selfish if you don't make the effort to do a live so that people can hear your story so that they can get help from you, whatever business that you have, right? Okay. So my number six, haha, my number six is visualize the success. Focus on the things that you want to have happen and not what you don't happen. If you continue getting the results that you are and it's not working for you, you're great at manifesting, but what's happening is you're thinking about the things that you're not, or the past. A lot of people are living in the past. So if you're constantly thinking and waking up feeling the same thing and getting the same results, that's great. Okay, our reality is just basically based on habitual thinking and behaviors. That is really what it is. You want to change your result, you have to change your habitual thinking behaviors. And if you think about it, if you're 40 something years old, well, but that's a lot of habitual thinking, right? So it does take time. It's not something you can do once to say, I'm going to get the results. People think they want the results, but it takes time, like brushing your teeth, right? You can do it unconsciously right now. But you have to get to actually brushing your teeth every day first, to force yourself to train yourself. So this is about consistency. So visualize the success, right, on what you want, because the brain doesn't know the difference between reality or not, which is great, because it thinks that whatever you think or whatever you see, you visualize. And if you're more auditory or feeling and feel into it, it thinks that that is real. So keep thinking that. Focus on the things that you want to have happen and visualize, 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 visualize. Visualize morning, visualize evening, visualize in the afternoon 3 times.
Oh, we love the number 3 and then write it down.
There's actually a science behind when you look at 369, right? There's a whole, anyway, that's a whole nother podcast.
We need a whole episode on that, because I've been saying for a very long time that I want to write a book around the number 3. And when I read the 5-second rule, I'm like, I don't need 5 seconds. I only need 3. I mean, I love Mel Robbins, but, I would have the 3-second rule.
369.
Yeah, right.
Too, but, there's definitely, when you look at quantum physics and how the world works, it's actually based on numbers. There's a lot of numbers. It's fascinaking. But yeah, definitely we'll have to share with you. We could talk about that one day as well.
Okay, well let's lock that one in. The science behind the mathematical equations of 3.
Yes.
That was really valuable content, guys. So 1, I'm just going to recap what the amazing Jackie has said. 1, write down what success is for you. What does success mean to you? Number 2, what is it about success that scares you? Yeah, and I loved how before you said that feeling of, excitement and fear is the same thing. I just pictured myself like going abseiling for the first time many years ago when I was a child, and how scared I was to get over the edge, right? But then I was excited that I got there, and it was kind of the same. It was just the thoughts in my brain that I was telling myself. And that's when you were talking about that. That was the picture that was coming to my mind. Number 3, how is fear holding you back? And we need to make an infographic about this one, or a quote, or Mar and Joyce pay attention. I loved the quote, awareness is the first step to change, because it's in the knowing, right? It's in the knowing. When you know, then you can make change. And another quote I love after that I love to use is, once you know, you need to forgive yourself for what you didn't know before you knew it.
I love that.
Because we can beat ourselves up because we should have known that before, but that doesn't matter. We can't change it. So forgive yourself for what you didn't know before you knew it, so that you can just move on. Yeah. Right, I wrote your awareness one down, so we'll make little snippet thingies from the content. Number 4, write. Why do you want to be successful? And that's really important because, like you said, it links to your values. Which moves on to 5, which is align your values to your goals and also AKA actions, right? We did that recently in our team retreat, didn't we? When we did, and we actually did it in the 3-day training, the VTO training we did with our clients. We only do a small group, and we've decided we're going to do it again, but at the end of the year. But we begin the 3 days with looking at our values. Before we even set our goals, we look at the clients and the team members and which ones, if we could clone them, would take our business to domination. And those people we clone, we write down all their values. What is it about those people that makes us wish we had more of them in our business? From that, we create our goals and our vision and our dreams and all the amazing goodness, right? But it all starts with that inner value. And then finally, visualize your success. Now, I know, Jackie, you have a book next to your bed you write in every night, right, before you go to bed. And then in the morning as well.
I have
Two.
this one to my desk and another one next to my bedside table. And I write this 3 times a day.
Yeah.
And
I've sat in Jackie's office and I've seen like the little post-it notes and all the good things she writes to keep her mind. And it is the practicing. It's a muscle that you build, and she does it so well. And you practice what you preach. You don't just tell people to do it. You actually, I've seen evidence floating around on her desk. So good. So good. So if you're out there on the live stream or you're watching this on a replay or listening to this on a replay, please hit us up in the DMs and let us know that you're listening or watching this episode, or maybe take a screenshot and tag us in stories. It's at Sally Sparks Cousins or at Jackie Ashley. Tag us in a story, but share with us a key takeaway from what Jackie just shared with you. Do it right now. Everyone watching, right? Take a photo. Here we are on screen. We'll wave for you. Come on, Jackie. Let's wave for them. Yay! Take a photo and tag us in your stories on IG and share with us what out of those steps, what was a big takeaway? And, what are you going to do differently moving forward? We would love to, and we'll love on you because you've tagged us. We will share it to our stories to put you in front of our audiences as well. Jackie, darling, before we move on, that was so valuable. I wrote it all down on my little whiteboard.
Actually, I have to mention your VTO session, Sally. I said that is very valuable. If anyone out there who's got a business, you need to come to one of Sally's 3-day VTO. It really is mind-blowing, right? Really getting clear on the business, but it's beyond just getting clear on the goals and the actions. It's going beyond that. And when you've got a whole plan laid out for you, oh man, I tell you what.
We've had any clients out there watching who did the VTO, they've literally walked away with a quarterly plan that we reassess every quarter. And I looked at every single business individually and we ran all their numbers. Every business was different. Because we can set these big BHAG, right? The big, audacious, hairy goals. We can set those. That's great. And that's, built into the fear of success. That's where a lot of people got triggered because they had to write these big astronomical numbers. Some people couldn't even view 10 years ahead. The furthest they could get to was 5. But we then spend time in the last day setting actionable goals, not big audacious goals though. They have to be very specific, right? They have to be measurable because I love me some sexy numbers, but they also have to be attainable.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? Because if we're trying to hit a goal every quarter and we don't hit those goals, we start to get deflated. Mm-hmm. It's good to have the big goals for a year or 3 years, but your quarterly goals and your weekly goals, they should be attainable. But the power in that is not actually in the first few weeks. It actually takes a couple of months usually about good 12 weeks before tracking that data every single week really starts to show what's working and what's not. But that means you've got to sit down and be honest with yourself once a week. Which, people keep up for a little bit of time. I can see Catherine, who was one of our clients, who did actually do the VTO with us. She's written VTO sessions that are amazing. Thank you, Catherine. Jackie, coming back to fear of success, we've talked about ways to help overcome it. I love those 6 processes that you walked us through. But so we've got this fear in us, but how can we turn this fear into a guide for us moving forward?
Yeah. So going back to those processes, acknowledging where it's coming from first, right? Knowing where that is. What's holding you back, right? And then using that fear, to check in where that's coming from, right? If your fear is coming from childhood stuff, you need to look at how you can, and it's not about fixing you or, I don't believe people need fixing, right? They just need to let go of it. They need to learn from the experience so they can move on. So fear can be a guide to really help you move towards your success in that respect, right? And remember, is changing that fear is what are you thinking up here, right? If you want to change your outcome, change what your thoughts are telling. What are you saying to yourself at that moment? If you're about to jump and do a live, instead of saying, oh, I'm scared, I can't, this is not going to work, right? You have that excitement, but then tell yourself, I'm excited, I can't wait to do that. And you'll notice, and then you visualize it, right? And then you'll see that you're going to feel you're going to feel different. You're going to feel different. So using fear to guide you in your journey in life, because at the end of the day, it really isn't about the destination. It's really about the journey, right? So using fear as a way to help you through the journey is how I like to kind of see it.
Yeah, I heard you say the internal GPS system before, and I've heard you use that on many occasions, but explain a little bit more about like that internal GPS system and how we can actually use it to guide us.
Okay, so, right, what happens is when you're feeling anger or something like that. Now, anger, sadness, fear, guilt isn't a bad thing. It's just how you manage it. If you feel it enough and it keeps affecting the way you get the results, and you're not getting, then obviously something needs to be looked at. So I see, emotions, negative and positive. We don't know. If you ask your brain, this is a negative emotion, this is a positive, it can't tell the difference. It just knows what you're feeling. Just knows what you're feeling at that time. There's a fear, then yes, it's stopping you moving forward, right? But then, use that fear to then help you to change your perception, right? So that is your internal GPS system. I call it the internal GPS system because if you're driving, right, and here's the thing, at the end of the day, right, you want the result, you have to take the driver's seat, or you'll get driven and you'll go to destinations that you don't want to go to. So are you as the cause of something, right? Or are you the effect? Do you get the result but blame everything around you, or because of COVID, or because of the financial the GFC? I set up a business actually in GFC, right? That was the worst time to set up, but I actually set it up in that time. Still managed, right, to do all in that, right? So it's your GPS system will tell you, right? But first you have to take responsibility of you, that everything has happened to you to now, right, is you. Because when you take responsibility of everything that has happened up until now, what that's going to do for you is that's going to give you power to create. Otherwise, you take your power away and then you end up being in the driver's seat and get driven off road, etc. right?
Yeah.
So the emotions that come in, right, along the way will tell you you're off track, or something's holding you back, or something's stopping you. So this is an opportunity. I always say opportunity rather than anything. In a bad situation, there's always an opportunity. It just depends whether you want to learn from it or what you want to do with it, right? So this is an opportunity for you to learn, right, what that emotion really is meaning, or what it's about, whether it's fear, whether it's anger. What are you really angry about, right? And acknowledging that for yourself, and then reminding yourself, okay, well, what is the results that I do actually want to get?
I think it's important to, when you feel something, to stop, yeah, and ask yourself why. I know you and I had a conversation one day. I was having these feelings, goddamn feelings, and it was around a staff member, and I was having these feelings, and I was sitting in my lounge room. For those in America, the lounge room is called something else, but it's where your television and your couch and everything is. What do they call it in America? I don't know. It's not a lounge room. I know most Americans go, what is this lounge room you speak of? Living area. That's what they call it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was sitting there and I was feeling all these feelings based on this event that had happened. And because I'm aware, right, I've asked myself, oh, shit, like what I'm feeling right now doesn't equal the event that just happened. Like the feelings were so strong,
Yeah.
but the event itself was so tiny.
Yeah.
One of my team members had complained about the color of a button on a landing page. Right? And there was some other stuff going on around that. But I'm like, why am I feeling this way? Luckily, I had Jackie. I'm like, Jackie, I'm feeling these things, and I know it doesn't equal the actual thing that happened.
Yeah.
And
Recalls.
yeah, and then it actually went back to something in my childhood of feeling trapped, unable to move, and unable to make my own decisions over somebody complaining about the color of a button on a landing page.
Yep.
All the way back to actually feeling trapped and unable to make any decisions. And it was because I had stopped for a moment and said, this is not equal. And I was aware. And so I reached out and Jackie said, let's talk about this. Thank you. I love you. But that was when I realized that no longer was I going to allow other people in my business to make me feel trapped. My decision is final. See, before I was I feel that I'm a good boss, a good leader, but also there are times where I'm a bit soft, right? I wear rose-colored glasses and I let people rule and then rule over me. But that was the defining point was, but now they're using that to threaten me, to make me feel trapped over the color of a button. It's crazy. So thank you, Jackie, for that. Well, we have Christelle joining us. Hey, Christelle. So Christelle is, yay. Yes, Christelle's a keeper. She's one of our keep people in our keep family, and also Jackie and Christelle met when actually, Christelle, I'm coming to Sydney in March, so we all should get together. But yes, thank you, Christelle. We love Christelle. So Jackie, from your opinion, like everyone, you were talking about, driving in the driver's seat. I always talk about driving your own boat. So we've all got our own analogies, right? So driving, I want to be the captain of my ship, right? Yeah. And then we have all these passengers on our boat that can help or hinder us. The little itty bitty shitty committee that jumps on your and says, no, that's too hard. Go this way. Or,
you should be doing this. You should be doing that.
Yeah. Or look at that shiny thing. Why don't you go and start this new business? Oh, this business isn't doing so well today. So why don't you quit that one and go and start this other one? And they're trying to pull and master your ship. But I am the captain of my ship. I'm going to drive it no matter all the feelings that jump in. Itty bitty shitty committee jumps in and starts to tell me stuff. And I'm like, piss off, flick them off my shoulder. So yeah, drive your car, internal GPS system, I'm the captain of my ship. And I have many passengers, but also sometimes their guidance and their words does redirect us, but sometimes it can take us on a good path, but we've also got to remember the final destination. But the journey, baby, it's all about the journey.
Yeah.
Right?
And sometimes it will take you down a path that you don't want to go to, but you have to go down that path in order for you to realize what your true path is.
Yeah. Going back to the staffing issues, right? I realized about myself, I have rose-colored glasses. I really do. Everybody's bloody amazing. I do. I love everyone. And then when they don't love me anymore, I'm like, but what did I do? I just loved you and you're amazing. And I want to get them all back and, and I want to still be friends with them forever. I never unfriend anybody on Facebook. Because I'm like, maybe in the future we'll all come back together again. But, I do have that. I need a tougher person in my business who can put their foot down and say, no, Sally, no, that person's not good for you.
Well,
Jackie.
It's really about whether that person's going to help you get the results that you know.
Yeah.
Right?
And the problem with being in a small business, sometimes there's a really fine line between friendship and business. And I'll keep people in the business, not necessarily because it's helping the business, but because I want to help them. And that's a really hard thing because I've had to fire people in the past and I literally have therapy before I've got to fire somebody and then therapy after because I struggle because I want to wrap them in cotton wool and give them all the money and tell them I love them. But at the end of the day, I'm also not serving my people well if we don't have the right people on our team, even though I want to love on them forever.
And you're not helping them either.
No. Hey, and this is the funny thing. Every person that I've had to let go of have gone on to do bigger and better things. And that's actually really wonderful when I see them being successful. And I'll give an example of an amazing woman, Amanda, who helped me in the very early days of my business. She gave a lot of time and energy. But now she's running her own drama school, her own theatre school, and we still catch up. And I love following her and looking at how, but we both cried a lot when I had to let her go. But now she runs her own theatre school, right? So, Catherine, we love you too.
Oh, love you. Here's the thing. I'm a big believer in that people come into your lives, but they're not always meant to be there for all the way. But they're coming to your lives so you can give them an experience so they can learn from it. And vice versa. They come into your lives to give you an experience so that you can learn from it because it's the next stage in your life.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard. Like sometimes, so with friends, I love friends who I don't have to see. But then when I see them again, they're not shaming me because I haven't seen them.
Yeah. Or you can go back to where it's almost like you just talked to them yesterday.
Yeah. And then, yeah. Or I can't handle it when somebody I haven't seen for a while reaches out and then goes, oh, but you should have reached out to me and, start throwing their stuff at me. And I'm like, you could too.
It takes tango, right?
Yes. And I've got friends from high school. We won't see each other for years and nobody will shame the other for not reaching out and talking. I love people where we can just catch up and there's no, blame or shame for other people running a busy life. It's just, hey, I thought of you, wanted to send you a message. Not, hey, thought of you, but you're a horrible person because I gave you all this stuff ages ago and now you haven't talked to me for, 12 months. And I'm like, I've got to get better at just cutting those people from my lives because then I just want to. I know.
It's their stuff as well, right?
I know. I feel like I want to make them better though. Like when they do that, but then it makes me feel sick. Like I'm feeding their negativity by then replying and saying, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not actually really sorry. I was just busy and it didn't mean I didn't love you. It just meant that I was doing other things.
Yeah.
Tangents.
Oh, tangents. But we love that. Season for a reason, some in a lifetime and some not so.
Yes.
And
yeah.
be okay with it,
It is. It's
right? I think.
Yeah. All right. Sparkle question time because I know I have a hard stop. Right, we have a hard stop.
Okay.
Jackie and I could be here for hours. So when you were young, what did you want to be and how has it showed up for you today?
I'm going to joke about this. This is too funny. I remember when I was a little kid, and I don't think I knew what I meant when I was saying this. And I said I wanted to be a nun.
Oh, Jackie.
Do you know, this is really funny because Dan, my husband, goes, oh my gosh, you're like Mother Teresa. You do things. This is one of my past. You just do things for people and you don't get any money from it. You just do, right? I'm like, oh,
I agree.
I'm not,
yep.
I'm like, oh, okay. So that was,
None.
and
wow.
then that was. And then in my high school, I think I wanted to do acting. I really wanted to try acting and get into acting. But then, again, right, I think at that time my parents were like, Asian upbringing. Yes, some are here for a season. That's right, Mummy Scribbles. You can't make money, this Asian thinking. So that kind of stopped me. But then later on in life, I decided, hey, I'm just going to have fun and go into it and have a go at it, So again, it's never too late to do anything that you want to do.
Yes.
The biggest thing is
100%. Oh, yes. It's never too late. I think I've met like my grandmother-in-law, who's now like at the Rainbow Bridge playing with my son and the dogs and all the things. We lost her last year. She, wrote her first book in her, I think it was like 60s or 70s, and then went on to be inducted into the Psychic Hall of Fame. She drove a car for the very first time in her 40s or 50s because, from that generation, the man always drove. And the only thing that stopped her from doing new things was her body eventually. Her brain was there right till the end, but her body just couldn't keep up. But she was always doing new things and trying new things. And, I aspire to be like that when I grow older. We'll all be growing older every day. I'm older than I was before we started this, but I've learnt a lot.
Wiser. I'm wiser.
There is a personality test or something. I can't remember what it's called where they rank, wise or all the. I always get all the wise ones. I do feel like for those who are a little woo-hoo out there, I feel like I've been on this planet in many bodies many times.
Old soul.
Yeah, I feel like a really old soul. Even my parents used to say when I was younger, like I used to love hanging out with the adults more than the kids. I love sitting and having, like talking philosophy and the meaning of life and business and brain and all. I do. I feel like I've been here many, many, many times before. Yes. Oh, Mummy Scribble says she wanted to be a writer and a teacher and now she publishes books for homeschoolers and teaches people how to rewrite their story. How awesome. That is so good. All right, my next sparkle question for you is, what are 3 books that have been a big inspiration to you?
Okay. I definitely must read, and this book has been out there for like so many, 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 many years, and different editions, etc. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And you
Yeah.
got to read it once, and you got to read it twice, and you got to read it 3 times, because every time you read again, you're going to learn differently. You're going to learn what you need to learn at that stage in your life. So I'm all about reading books again, because you'll take what you need to take at that moment in your life that you need to learn. Then the other one is the magic of thinking big. The magic of thinking big. I think it's but hold on, I wrote it down somewhere. Okay. David Schwartz, SCHWARTZ. The magic of thinking big. And this one I really love. Oh, actually, do I have the book here? I actually might even have the book. Oh no, I don't. Uh, the becoming. Oh yes, I do have the book. Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe Dispenza. And if you haven't read it,
You
read
can
it.
tell you love it. It looks well read.
I know. Yeah, right. I highlight it, I write it, right? I highlight it, I write it, and I understand it. I'm like, okay, yes, I take it on.
Love that. Well, if you go to my Instagram, we actually posted a book of my 3 favorite books the other day. So if you want to know what they are, head to Sally Sparks Cousins on IG. I actually put a photo up of my 3 favorite books. I don't read. I listen. But these 3 books are well highlighted. I listen while I look at the words and highlight and take notes all around the outside. But these 3 books are the 3 that I actually went out and bought because they were so powerful, but everything else is on Audible. I have an Audible subscription.
I've read 2 of them. I've read and gone through 2 of them, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at that one.
Yeah. All right, this one's an interesting question. I love it when Ma suggests that I ask this one. So thank you, Ma, for the question. So if you were sitting in my seat today and interviewing you, what is a question that you would have asked yourself?
What does success mean to you?
Jackie, what does success mean? That is so appropriate. Look at you go. Some people go, I don't know what to ask. And I'm usually ready to sit there with that question and sit in silence while they think, because I know that it takes a little bit for the cogs. But that was quick. Not everyone comes up with the answer that fast. So, Jackie, what does success mean to you?
Success means to me is doing what you love with whom you want and when you want, whenever you want, to have the choices. That really is what success means to me. It's really that.
Yes. That's beautiful. I love that.
You know, it's really about choices.
Yeah, choice. Success to me, that's mine. Success to me means choice.
Correct.
And being able to choose who to work with, what I do, when I work, if I want to have a nap after lunch, that's success. When I can, my team say, I'll eat lunch, and they'll go, have a good nap when I say I'm going off to lunch, right? That is success, when I can have a nap in the afternoon. Because I suffer from chronic fatigue syndrome, and I've realised, and I went and stayed at Jackie's house, and Jackie's like, I'm going to try and live how you live, right? You couldn't do it. No.
I couldn't do it.
But you've also got young ones.
Yeah, I know. That's
right?
hard. Yeah.
I'll be interested to see.
I gave it a go, right?
You did. Yeah. So I get up early and then I nap in the afternoon and then I can work late. I feel like I should have been born in those countries where they have siestas. But I'd be interested when your kids aren't so little, whether you can come to the sparkle nap side, right? Because you have to be still on when the kids get home. My daughter gets home and I go to the fruit bowl, make yourself dinner. Actually, my husband does all of that for me, so I don't have to do it. So, yeah, I'm lucky that way. Yes, Catherine loves a good nap too. All right. So, hey, we still got half an hour, right? We haven't hit our hard stop time.
She's really pushing it to the end, isn't she?
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, these eyeballs that are still on us right now, let us know in the chat. Are you enjoying? Because Jackie and I...
We can keep going. Keep the conversation
we sit up all kinds of hours of the night chatting about all kinds of things. Business, philosophy, the meaning of life. We do. We're both very different, though, right? Like, I'm quite techie and analytical. Well, I'm not too. I'm quite creative, but Jackie's all about you and people and talking and just patience. It's amazing.
Complement each other.
Yeah.
You do what you're good at, and I do what I'm good at.
And then we realize the thing that you're not good at, I'm like, go see Jackie. You're like, go see Sally.
Yeah. They can do that.
We have a funny saying inside the Sparkle world when people mess up when it comes to tech, don't we, Jackie? Yeah. If we break something on the tech, oh shit, I did a Jackie.
Yeah. Or something happens. Oh, hey, my screen froze. Oh, did a Jackie.
Did a Jackie.
Hey, but I'm okay with that, right? Just make sure that that doesn't stop you, right, from this, right?
Yeah.
I see that I, can learn things, right? So
That's it. Well, just before we came in live, Joyce, who's in the office right now working, our social media guru, photographer, graphic designer for all the things that makes all the visuals, she's in talking to Jackie, teaching her how to approve a collaboration.
IG, I'm like, where? What?
Where's on the IGs? Where's the button?
I'm in this spot now. All right, Joyce, you got to come in and show me.
Well, we'll be flying to Sydney very soon. It's going to be so fun.
But I always have my learning cap on. I do. I always do. And I will always give it a go, right? Until it doesn't work, and then I might need a little bit of help. But I'll always give it a go first.
You do. You try. Like, I've seen you going into the tech and trying to build out all the things and then getting stuck, but you'll give it a good hard go. I mean, we met originally because Keep, you had left a message on Keep and they had said, oh, here's a girl in Australia. Why don't you reach out to her? She might need Keep. She took a lot of convincing, I can tell you.
It's a strategy, right? We all have a strategy.
I know. And now we see each other, like, you're one of my besties now, and we've really grown such an amazing team and community and things together. And you're stuck with me for life, babe.
Oh, here, same here, love, same here, man. We're gonna grow old together, right?
I know, right? Yeah, I know. We've got all these business ideas and plans, but just for the two of us, like we're like both of us at the moment, we're in looking at some business opportunities, but for us, like we don't have to go and we love our husbands very much. But we want to be able to make a decision and sign the paperwork without our husbands having to sign the paperwork, because especially mine, I love him dearly, but he is not an investor. He is not a business person. He doesn't like risk. We actually give him a nickname, Dan, the man with a plan, because if I said to him in half an hour from now, let's go drive down to the coast right now, he'd go, no, because there is no spontaneity in my husband at all. He has to have a plan. It has to be talked about days in advance. Oh, I'm definitely not like that. We're very opposite as well.
I'm a big believer there are things that you do together with your partner, but this journey that we're going through together is for us.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Right.
And that was a huge learning for me when our daughter got older, and we all of a sudden realized, we're no longer parents. We had lost our own identities because we were parents. And when you first meet your person, you do everything together.
Yes.
And I don't like this. When somebody meets their person, you complete me. I used to think that was a good thing. That was a good thing.
Yeah.
No.
You complete you.
I complete me. And there are things we do together, but we're two different people.
Yeah.
Yeah. My grandparents were very old-fashioned. Did everything together, traveled together, everything. They wouldn't do anything separately, ever. And I thought I was going to aspire to be like that. And recently I've realised my husband doesn't want to travel as much anymore. So now I just go and...
This is okay. This is probably a deep question, and for those out there, you might be thinking, do you believe that let's say you're in a partnership, do you believe that that partner is the one and that's it, and no more?
Mm. Very interesting question.
Yeah. That's
Pa-
I know I've already thrown this out, and this is so
yeah, very interesting. So yes, I believe in monogamy, but also I believe in choice. If people don't want to be monogamous and they're happy and the other people are happy and they want to, throw the keys into a bowl, that is their choice, right? Like
literally.
religion, all the things. People have choice. They have choice to choose how they want to live their life. I know, me personally, when I was engaged to the first guy, I did cheat on him. Here, I'm totally honest. I felt so goddamn guilty. Personally, I could never do that to myself again. So I have complete faith that my husband would never cheat. So to me, yes, that's what I would like to happen.
Yeah.
But what if, God forbid, he was to pass away? He's not going to pass away because who would tickle my back, make my breakfast, bring me coffee and all the things? We need to keep him. I need to go first.
Yes, you can organize.
He's gonna,
Actually, I'll hear.
but yeah, there may be somebody else out there because I also wouldn't want to be alone. So I think circumstance as well may have a little bit to do with it. But yeah, I used to think that it was only, well, I never believed in soulmates until I met my husband. I just thought you met somebody, you got used to them, you used the word love, and we'll just kind of see how it went. I think Danny and I were literally married in a previous life because we don't fight. We don't fight. I think in our entire 20-something years of marriage, maybe we've had 3 big arguments. We just don't. It's not worth it. We get touchy, tired, cranky. But yeah, we don't do the big drama fighting stuff. How about you, Jackie? Same question back at you.
I didn't used to do that with my husband, but when your husband's going through stress and depression and this is being open out there, and that's what happens unexpectedly, right? Things change.
Yeah.
And you have to deal with that as well as a partner, right? So for me, and I know I hear this from a lot of people. Some people are like, no, the partner is that once you're married, you stuck with them. You have to make it work. You have to, no matter what, even if you're not happy, you have to stick out with them. And I see a lot of my older aunties that I know, that generation, they're miserable as hell. They're literally very, very miserable, and they've been in that relation. They're still stuck with that relationship. Now, while I love the idea of forever together, and I do believe that, and like I say, I love my husband, and right now, yes, forever, yes, is right now, but I'm going to ask my question next, maybe in a year time, would it be the same? I'll be honest, I'm not sure. If our values are not aligned, right, and if there's conflict or resistance that happens and keeps happening, I need to be brave enough, and there's strength in this. And for those who are stuck in a relationship as well out there and thinking that there is strength in actually letting go of the relationship, because they need experience too.
Yeah.
So I'm a big believer in that now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I've seen many friends in relationships where they shouldn't be. And then when they finally are brave enough to, take that scary step, they're better for it.
Yeah. Both of them are.
Both, yes. Danny's grandmother, for example, the lady I was telling you about before who, wrote her first book in her 60s or something and, all the things. She was born in the 1920s. So there was a lot of generational stuff there about getting a divorce. She stayed in a very toxic relationship for a very long time. But when she finally left, which is something that most people of that age group don't do, she became, a public speaker, a motivator, an author, she went forward and changed so many lives because she was no longer held back by, you know, what is acceptable or expected as well. So, yeah, and anyone who's stuck in a relationship, you know, that you're just there because you're kind of used to the person, but miserable is not a good thing. That was my first fiance. I kind of just got used to him being around. Lucky I was young enough though, like separating wasn't a big deal when I was that young. But yeah, I just kind of got used to him being around, but I was never in love with him. I just kind of, it was nice to have someone. That was it. Yeah.
Yeah. The fear of being lonely, alone,
Yes.
and keep
Well, that's
someone in a
that's one
relationship.
of every human, right? There's a few things that we all fear, right? Things that make us, one, judgment, right?
Yeah.
Everything, all the other feelings that we have come back to, I think it's 4 or 5. I can't remember them off the top of my head.
Fear of failure, fear
Yeah.
of death,
Yeah.
fear of
Fear, like, and the things that we want and need in life is a feeling of belonging.
yes.
We all want to belong, whether it's with our family, our friends, our community. Everybody wants to belong. They want to feel like they're part of something.
That is a value. That's a
Yeah.
core value. And that's
think-
okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Catherine has written, the hard thing can be when you love someone, but they are not good for you. Exactly. That's a toxic relationship.
Got to learn to let go.
Yeah. I saw one of my,
Thing, right? Because you think that, and or you can think you can save them so you stay in the relationship. But you know, at the end of the day, they gotta want to help themselves too.
yeah. Or you hear, I'm only here because of the children.
Yes, that's another thing. And while it may be the case at the beginning, right? It's not going to help you or the children as well because the children will suffer too.
Yeah.
They always do. I went through my parents divorced, right?
Yeah.
Actually,
Same.
so glad they divorced. Really.
Yeah, same. My parents divorced.
God.
And then mum went and met an amazing man who is my dad, right? He is a real dad. He did all the things that a dad should do. And he calls me his favourite oldest daughter. And I'm not biologically his, but I'm his favourite oldest. And his biological daughter is his favourite youngest. So that takes a strong man to bring another child's person in and treat, like, I don't feel different to my sister. I hate the word stepdad because he's not my stepdad. He's my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've gone off on all sorts of tangents.
We have. We might need to split this up because that could be another topic.
I think that, Ma, you can make out some quick tips and some little things. Like, this whole episode does not need to be cut. Chop it. All right, let's do the sentence and then we will finish a little earlier so we both have a minute or two free before I've got to go and fix a couple of tech bits. All right, complete this sentence. Hi, I'm Jackie Ashley and I sparkle because...
Okay. Ooh. Hi, I'm Jackie Ashley and I sparkle. Is that I sparkle because I like to help people sparkle.
Hey, you can tell she's a sparkler, baby. If you can't get enough of Jackie, come join our community. She's with us like nearly every day and officially our success coach this year. Like, we've always been helping out in mindset, but Jackie is now officially a Team Sparkle success coach, which means she'll be knocking on your door every week, even if you don't want her to. Oh, Jackie, I love you, darling. It's been a great episode together. But for those who want to stalk you, where can they find out more about you on the socials?
Well, you can email me at jackie@jackieashley.com. JackieAshley.com is also my website. JackieAshley1, my IG. And I think I'm Jacqueline Ashley, my Facebook. I don't know how
My
to
darling, we
change
need
that.
to fix all of that. It needs to be
I
one
know.
thing
Facebook
across the
deleted
board.
me. I had to change it because Facebook deleted me. 'Cause someone hacked-
Okay.
So,
Well,
anyway.
we'll fix that because you
And you
need...
can find me on LinkedIn too, Jackie Ashley. There's
Yes.
a way.
There's a
Search
way.
me.
You can't not miss her. Look at her. She's radiant. She's gorgeous. Uh,
You. And you are beautiful too. You got rainbow hair. I love it.
I know. And this new orange dress that Joyce has been taking photos of me this afternoon in. Yes. Little party dress, guys. If you are looking for, let's come back to here. If anyone's looking for really cool clothes and you love what you see me in, I have no sponsorship, no deals with, but they totally should give me a deal, right?
You always talk about them.
Little party dress. Tell them Sally sent you, Sally Sparks, right? We did a really cool reel in some of my sparkly dresses the other day. But little party dress is where you go to get all the colourful stuff that I wear. It is my go-to shop. It is. I just love it. There are so many other, because I'm not a little petite thing. I'm very cuddly and I'm like a teddy bear. But pretty clothes for bigger girls, right? Or cuddly girls. They have awesome, most of them are grey, black, blue with little dots on them or something. But these are like my style. Out there, outrageous. So anyway, did I do enough a plug for little party dress? Because maybe one day they'll sponsor the show. We can only hope. Oh my God, I've spent so much money at that shop.
All the time, and you get nothing from us. So funny.
I know. It's okay. Spread the love. Good karma, baby. It'll come back in other ways.
Exactly.
Mars, our podcast editor, she's just got a lot of episodes from just this one. She's been taking notes. Lots of quick tips. Lots of quick tips. Like we're probably set for the next 6 months just with this conversation, Mar. And these eyeballs, I can see all the eyeballs watching us. The numbers held strong the whole way through. We've had one drop off. The whole time. You're all watching from all the platforms. The numbers stayed consistent. So you've just been sitting with us now for an hour, 31 minutes and 22 seconds, and you're still here. So
guys, thank
subscribe,
you.
follow, all the things, right? And if you love the podcast Batching Day, make sure you do register for Dr. Sparkle because she'll hook you up. Right, whenever we do a podcast batching day, she sends a message, providing that somebody remembers to send the message, which we didn't today because, Christy's actually just got married yesterday. So our beautiful Christy, let's, I know she's probably not, wrong one. You're not Katie. That was earlier. Let me come down here. Here, this is you. Congratulations to Christy. Christy just got married yesterday on Australia Day and she's off on a family moon. So she's taken the kids away. But we've got to have a chat with her about that.
Sally, can I make a suggestion for our next podcast? If anyone wants, if there's a topic that you want us to talk about or discuss, let us know. If it's regard to mindset, etc., because I'm happy to have
That's a great idea. Shoot me a message on IG. Or take a photo of the two of us and tag us on IG right now. No matter where you're listening or watching this episode, tag us over on IG with what you would like us to talk about. Imposter syndrome, money mindset. I mean, there are so many things.
I mean, we can even go to vibrators if you need to. I mean, all these topics.
So many topics, anything to do with the mind and the brain and success and all the things. And before we finish off, I want to give a huge shout out to our podcast manager, Ma, who got engaged on the weekend. Yay! We love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. So congratulations to Ma. And we give her some sparkles. Congratulations, Ma, who got engaged on the weekend. Go and check out. She was stunning in her dress. Oh my goodness, she's so tall, and just the dress, everything was sparkly. I loved it. So congratulations to Ma, our podcast manager, who really put so much work into making this show as successful with all the amazing guests that we've had from Stephanie Liu, Pat Flynn, Amy Porterfield. I mean, we've had some pretty awesome people on this show, and Ma keeps this running every 4 weeks. We do an amazing, amazing show. So congratulations, Ma. Oh, look, everyone's congratulating you. And she says thank you. You're welcome. We love you, Ma. So everyone should go, send her some love as well. She does make this show a success, and all the edits and making sure we get 3 episodes every single week dropping, which is pretty cool. All right. Thank you, Jackie. We're going to dance this one out as normal. We'll do a little dance as we head on out. Thank you for joining me on the show. We love you all. We'll catch you in our next live stream. And also, we will be back here live on Monday or Tuesday. It depends on where you are in the world. But it's called Strategy with Sally. We'll be live. So 9 a.m. Melbourne time on a Tuesday. Google it for your own time zone. Mwah. All right, let's dance it on out, Jackie. And we wave now. Goodbye, people.
Keep putting me off, I'm not gonna change my mind. Your headstrong forward, but this time around I'm taking my time. Don't push me, I'm not coming down, I'm not giving up. Oh, don't rush me, I made up my mind.